Okay, I think we kick off and start working through. Some of this material will be stuff that some of you know. Some of it I can guarantee will be new, although I suspect it will be presented in a slightly different way to how a lot of people tend to present a lot of this stuff. So where I want to start is looking at a very simple comparison between well-implemented CRM, which enables salespeople, they're the focus of this conversation, and other users, versus poorly implemented CRM. And well-implemented CRM allows users to do their job much like the top arrow, whereas a poorly implemented CRM, of which there are more than there really ought to be, is much more like this bottom arrow. So if we look at this, why do we have this sort of conundrum? Why do we have so many poorly implemented CRM solutions? And I would argue that it comes down to a few common things. One is lack of knowledge of the functionality, and that's what this session is exploring. The other is a lack of knowledge of the business or of the methodology of how to go about implementing this sort of solution. This session is about helping you get to this nice, fairly straight line. And that is, well, the focus is on using enterprise features for sales in Microsoft Dynamics 365 sales. In order to put that into perspective, I want to spend the first few minutes looking at the licensing structure of Dynamics 365, because unless you understand the pyramid of licenses, it can get a little bit messy. And if there is one thing on this earth that Microsoft have never made easy, it is licensing. So at the bottom level, we have a team license. And that is the minimal functionality. We then have a professional license. And above that, we have enterprise. And right at the very top, we have premium. So what do each of those mean? The team license is a basic license, and it suits those users who only need access to do pretty simple stuff. This has always existed. It changes its name, but it has always existed in Dynamics 365 Microsoft CRM. And it is, as the name suggests, or as the description suggests, it is for basic functionality. So please don't make the mistake that one of my clients made, that buy the team licenses for buttons, give people bigger security roles and save a bucket full of money. One of the things that Microsoft in theory have done, but I've not yet seen the evidence, is technically enforced these low-level licenses. So we're still in the situation that you can technically set up an environment in a way that is not legal. The team member license allows read only to the whole system, but you can only create and update basic records, accounts, contacts, leads, activities, maybe one or two more, but really not a great deal more. So the next level is professional. Okay, we've looked at that. I've done my usual trick of speaking ahead of the slides. So the sales professional license is the lower tier license, and sales professional allows a business to get started with Salesforce automation, and it gives a fair amount of functionality, but most of what we're going to be discussing today is not included in the sales professional license. It really is only suitable for organizations with less complex needs or people who are somewhat lacking imagination about what they could possibly do with technology like Dynamics 365. So what do we get in sales professional? We do get all of the standard lead to cash process. So you can take things through from lead, create an opportunity, generate a quote so the prospect knows what it will cost, then an order, and finally an invoice so that you get paid and you can do it all again. We also get some marketing. So as far as marketing goes, we get the ability to filter data from the database into a marketing list. Then from that, create a campaign activity and distribute that activity out to every member of the marketing list. We also get the ability to design a campaign which will comprise multiple campaign activities, and then each of those will be distributed . However, that is all the marketing that you get in Dynamics 365 sales, regardless of what level you go for. If you want more than that, so if you want the sort of things like click reports, HTML, emails, customer journeys, and a lot of other things, you either need Dynamics 365 marketing or Click Dimensions or one of the other marketing automation tools. You also get the ability to obviously store a lot of information, and specifically activities. So if you look at the screen we've got there, in the middle of that opportunity, we can now see highlighted all of the emails and phone calls that not only I, as the owner, business development manager, or whatever of this opportunity have created, but also all the activities created by my colleagues. So I am getting a 360-degree view of this entire opportunity. We also get the ability to integrate, although personally I think the word integrate is too heavy-handed here, but we can integrate Dynamics 365 with Outlook. So what this image is showing you is a pretty standard Outlook screen. We've got a Dynamics 365 button boxed in yellow. And when you click on that, you get this pane. What that allows me to do is link this particular email with whatever is relevant in Dynamics 365. So in this particular case, we have linked it to an account, to a case, to certain users, to contacts, and so on. Because it has been multiply linked, although it's very simple from a user perspective to do that, it means that we can see that email from lots of different places inside Dynamics 365. We also get the ability to use Dynamics 365 via a phone, but that is again a simpler app. You can't do everything via the phone, but let's face it, most people don't want to do everything via the phone. They want to be able to, while they're out and about, maybe quickly make a call, quickly check up on a prospect, maybe check an address, get a map. There aren't many people that want to do much more than that on a phone. What we also get is Excel and Word integration. Now, Dynamics 365, even before it was called Dynamics, has always had a good reporting engine. So there have always been ways to get information in that was relatively technically complex. And so a few versions ago, Microsoft introduced this Excel and Word integration. Now, it's not completely idiot-proof, but it is a whole heap easier than writing reports. So I'm now going to show you a couple of examples of that. And I've done this demo, like most of the other demos in this session, by video.
In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get a printout in Word of a Dynamics 365 record. As this video is targeting salespeople, I'm going to use an opportunity, and specifically, I'm going to use this opportunity needs to restock their supply of product SKU AX305, which has come in from Blue Yonder Airlines. On this opportunity, I have a couple of product lines and I have a lot of other information. I access the word templates from this menu option here. I'm going to choose the opportunity summary Word template. Here we have a Word document containing the information from the opportunity record. Like most of Dynamics 365, these templates are very configurable. Typically, this sort of thing would include your company logo and any other colors and so on that you need. You can also change the fields so that it's got different data from the record.
So you see, that was pretty simple once the template is in place, and this could be a very complex document. So any comments or questions so far?
In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is.
And here I'm doing a similar thing with an Excel demo.
This video will demonstrate the pipeline report that you can get using an Excel template in Microsoft Dynamics 365. Here we're looking at the all opportunities view, so we've got won, lost and open for all users. I get to the Excel templates from the Excel template menu, and the pipeline report is here. I'm going to open it directly into Excel, and this is the information that is immediately available to us. Excel has downloaded that view with all of the relevant data and has generated these 6 charts.
So the one comment that I'd like to make of those two is that the Word templates work best for single records, where the Excel templates work better for consolidating and then doing the stuff that Excel does extremely well, which is some form of analysis. You don't have to do all charts, but that's the sort of thing that you can do. So to summarize what you get with the professional license, I've just given you that list. I'll leave that up for a moment, and if people have got any questions, that's fine. The only reason I put all of that in was because I think it's important to know what the foundation is before you start moving up into the more expensive enterprise and premium licenses. Now, what Microsoft have done, and this is relatively new, but if you've only got professional licenses, there are some fairly strong configuration limits. So you can only have a maximum of 15 custom tables. You can only have 1 business unit. Up to 5 business process flows, 5 dashboards, and this one I think could be a real problem. Only 2 forms or views per table. No more than 15 queues. So I think, although I haven't confirmed that if all you've got is sales professional licenses, there will be a number of add-ons that you won't be able to use because and one or more of those limits. Okay, so what we've done so far with those two licenses, the team and the professional, is very much a foundation. So we're now moving on to look at sales enterprise. And I forgot to take some of the animation out of these slides. So we get it all again. So sales enterprise offers significantly more than professional. And we're now moving really beyond what a lot of people would think of as CRM capabilities. Enterprise is the mid-tier license, and it gives you a lot more customization than professional. And it also gives you some pretty sexy features in the embedded intelligence, forecasting, and a number of other features. And I'm going to run through some of these in the rest of this morning. So what we get with an enterprise license is everything that we get in sales professional. So that's pretty standard with these licenses, that as you move up, you still get everything that you got at the lower level, plus. So specifically, the things that you get the Sales Hub app. So now Microsoft have introduced out of the box several of these apps. So there is a team member app, a professional app, and the Sales Hub app is for those users with an enterprise license. Over and above the lead to cash process that I illustrated earlier, we also get competitors, sales goals, sales literature, and the ability to manage territories. We also get products. And what products gives us is the ability to see the value of a potential sale from opportunity through quote, order, and invoices and actual sale, not based on, well, I think, but based on, we believe that this customer problem is solved by using these products. And products, of course, can also be services. So the enterprise level gives you that ability to get much more accurate sales numbers. We also get cases, as in case management, customer support, troubleshooting, but we don't get the rest of the customer service functionality. However, if you were a business development manager, there is enough available there for you to see what problems a customer that you need to meet with or are about to call has raised. So it is enough to allow you to go into those meetings forearmed. And as well as that lot, of course, there's more. So what else we get? A lot of different forecasting, and that is really pretty sexy. We also get 2,000 customer voice responses. So that's the ability to use various survey type tools. And we can have up to 2,000 responses per month. Above 2,000, if we need more than that, we can also then purchase additional to the basic license. We can purchase more. We also get the ability to enter data without typing it using a business card scanner, and I'll demo that to you later on. We get a number of assistant cards. Assistant cards are cards that appear on a form and prompt you with specific information. So it will tell you when an opportunity's close date is soon. It will tell you a number of other things. And you can configure these assistant cards so that your users get prompted for the things that are valuable to them. We also get a lot of AI functionality, and that includes email intelligence. So we can look at not one email typically, but AI can look at a series of emails and recorded phone calls and give you a sentiment overview of the relationship during those interactions. We also get sales playbooks, which can be automated. Regardless, they guide you through the sales process at a higher level of detail than the business process flow. As you might expect, we also get a lot more configuration ability. So within the limits of the technology itself, we now get pretty much unlimited configuration. And a couple of points that I'd like to call out here. We can now have as many business units as we want. And business units are groups of users with similar needs of the data and the user interface. Now, the professional license only allowed us one, which is obviously limiting how we can then secure the data. It's not to say that the data's insecure, but there are fewer glass walls inside the organization. The other new point here is that we can make a team, another group of users, owner of a record. So that can be useful for some organizations who don't want individuals to take responsibility for records, typically a call center, where you don't want any one record to get lost because it's owned by an individual who maybe is absent or has left. So you leave the ownership with a team. Okay, here we go again. I really should have remembered this. And then at the very top level, we have the premium license, and that is everything in enterprise plus sales insights. And it's sales insights where Dynamics starts really helping you by AI looking at the data and helping you. So inside sales insights, we've got predictive forecasting, which I'll show you later on, pipeline intelligence, predictive scoring of sales that helps you know which sales are more likely to win and when, relationship analytics, connections and insights, so that's who knows who. If you wanted an introduction to a person who within your network the organization is most likely to be able to help with that. We now get more cards and the ability to customize those cards. We get the Up Next widget. We get a phone dialer. We can have conversation intelligence, calls, transcription, a lot of AI, sentiment intelligence, and we can now have a lot more dashboards. So comparing the licenses, the yellow stuff is so the green is available, the yellow is an add-on, and the Viva Sales is an add-on here for the professional. Viva Sales is included in all of the higher licenses. So yellow is limited and green is fully included. And just so that you can see what the cost of those is, you see roughly how the costs compare. Those costs are Australian dollar pricing, and these blue are if you want sales professional or sales enterprise as an add-on to another initial license. So these are $27.50 at both levels if you have customer service professional or customer service enterprise. Any questions about that lot? Okay, now this is where it gets a bit interesting. And I believe it's mainly because of the configuration limits, but in any one organization, either you have to have professional or enterprise. You can mix team member with both, but you cannot mix enterprise and professional. And I'm also reasonably sure that technically you can, but legally you can't. So that is an interesting conversation to have with a client, particularly a client that's already been misadvised. And I've got one of those at the moment, so I can speak from experience. Okay. You might have noticed relationship sales on the pricing chart, and relationship sales is enterprise sales plus LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So this includes the LinkedIn Sales Navigator license, and that enables you to unify sales and your social data. Obviously only LinkedIn social data. But overall, what it allows you to do is to find key decision makers, then use different ways of connecting with them, and that enables you to close deals faster. From a look and feel perspective, we now start to see, well, we now see this. So the top part should be quite familiar to you as a standard Dynamics 365. But down here, you see we've got the LinkedIn company profile. And there's a lot of other LinkedIn information. I was limited as to the screenshots that I could find. Any questions? Okay, so I'm now going to run through some of the things in enterprise that will definitely save time for salespeople. And I think anybody who knows salespeople knows a salesperson who would like to save some time, particularly if the time that they're saving is admin and data entry. So the first thing I'm going to show you is business card scanning. And this works from the quick create of a lead or a contact. And you see up at the top, we've got this button, business card. So I'm going to run a demo of that.
This video shows you how easy it is to capture details from a business card using the scan business card functionality and get those details directly into Dynamics 365. This works for leads or contacts from the Quick Create menu. Once you have scanned the business card and saved it, you simply point the business card scanner to the saved file and Dynamics 365 AI will bring in as many of the available details as possible. You add the rest and save and close.
So you can imagine if you've been to an expo and got a truckload of business cards, or better still, if you've already taken photos of those business cards rather than the cards themselves, how simple that would be. For that to work, you do require an AI builder license. And once you've got that, the AI quota, the number of business cards that each user can use, should be pre-allocated to particular users. It seems that Dynamics have been quite crafty over a lot of the AI functionality, in that, yes, it's there, but it doesn't just go all out to everyone. It does need to be administered and managed. So the next thing I'm going to show you is working with your opportunities in a Kanban view. And this is something that a lot of salespeople wanted for quite some time before it was introduced. And again, I'm going to do this with a short video.
This video demonstrates the Kanban view, which is another of the features available with an enterprise sales license. Here we have a fairly standard grid view of all opportunities. And many salespeople find this relatively difficult to use, even though we can sort by these different column headings, and with appropriate privileges, we can do a lot of other things. However, if we switch into the Kanban view, we see this. This Kanban view is based on the business process flow. So we now have a swim lane for each of the 4 stages in my business process flow. I can open any opportunity just by clicking on its subject, have a quick look. So we can see that this opportunity is in the qualify stage. Close out of that and I am back to the Kanban view. The Kanban view can also work with statuses. So we can see here that we've got 45 open opportunities, 10 won opportunities, and no lost opportunities. When viewing statuses of the opportunities in a Kanban view, we can also drag and drop opportunities to quickly mark them as won or lost. In this example, I'm going to drag this opportunity to the won column. Dynamics immediately opens the close opportunity with a number of fields pre-populated. I can click on OK, and that opportunity has been updated. I'm now going to show this one as lost. Again, we've got the close opportunity with default value of cancelled and 0 actual revenue, standard for a lost opportunity. We can also change the status reason, the reason that it was lost, and again, that opportunity has now been updated.
So you can see how that would work well for a number of salespeople. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So I'm now going to show you some further views of opportunities, and this is done very much as a lots of different ways of seeing essentially the same data.
Introduces us to some other views where we can see some consolidation of opportunities. Here we're looking at my open opportunities, and it is the grid. This is probably very familiar to you. I come up here to show as and choose pipeline view. This has gone into a deal tracker bubble chart. On this bubble chart, we are seeing each of the opportunities in the selected view, in this case my open opportunities, as a bubble and by the estimated revenue. The position of the bubble is the probability of the opportunity and the estimated close date. Here we have a line marking today's date. Those bubbles to the left of that line are open opportunities where the estimated close date has passed. To the right of this line are opportunities with the close date not yet passed. When we hover over any one of the bubbles, we get a new card of that opportunity. If we click on the bubble, we get the summary over on the left-hand side. If I switch this view from my open opportunities to all opportunities, the bubble chart changes because now we're seeing all opportunities in the organisation. If we scroll down, we see that the colour of the bubbles is driven by the stage of the business process flow for each of the opportunities. We can also see our opportunities as a sales funnel. So this is showing us that we've got a lot of opportunities and a lot of revenue in the qualify stage, and significantly less in develop, propose and close. Up at the top, we see a summary telling me that the total pipeline value of all opportunities is 3.5 million. We've got 43 deals in the pipeline. We've won 2.8 million, 51 deals, and we've lost deals worth 1.8 million, and we've lost 41 deals.
Any questions?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, what I'm now going to show you is dashboards, and some of this is available in professional, but as always, you get a lot more once you move up to the enterprise.
Most people will be familiar with standard Microsoft Dynamics 365 dashboards, similar to the one that I'm showing you here. In this video, I want to introduce you to interactive dashboards. Out of the box, there are no interactive dashboards for sales. They are all for customer service. I have built a simple interactive dashboard to demonstrate the features to you. This is an interactive dashboard. At first glance, it probably looks worse than the one on the previous screen. However, when I turn on the visual filter, we now have a number of different charts that all relate to sales data, specifically the opportunity. Down here, we have lists, pretty standard for dashboards. It's these charts that make these dashboards particularly interesting. At the moment, we're seeing all of the opportunities, my opportunities, and some activities related to all of the opportunities in the system. Here we have a filter that is telling us that we have 75 opportunities in the qualify phase, 1 in the develop phase, 2 in the propose phase, 5 in the close phase. Still not that exciting. But if I click on that close, now everything on this dashboard has changed. So what we are now seeing is 5 opportunities in the close phase listed here. None of them are mine, or they would show here. And these activities are all related to those 5 closed phase opportunities. Here we can see opportunities by rating. And if I click on that orange slice, which is the hot opportunities, we now are seeing everything pertaining to only the hot opportunities. And 5 of the 9 hot opportunities are mine. We can further refine that using the pipeline phase. So if I go again into the close, we're now seeing the 3 opportunities that are in the close phase and hot. This chart allows me to filter by account or organization or prospect. And it's telling me that we have T1 opportunities for AdventureWorks, $20 with Fourth Coffee, 2 with A-Datum, 21 with City Power and Light, 15 with Litware, and so on. If I click on the Litware tile, again the interactive dashboard has immediately changed and everything else is related only to the 15 opportunities of Litware. This final chart is a filter by estimated close date and month. So if I click on the May block, I'm now seeing the 20 opportunities with an estimated close date of May 2023. I hope that this has given you a brief insight into the potential of interactive dashboards.
Happy with that?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah.
So I'm now going to move on. We've looked at lots of ways where you can help people see data in different ways and ways that might help them or appeal to different ways of thinking. I'm now introducing you to conversational intelligence. And this is one of the premium features that you get with some of the AI. So what it's doing is it will surface related emails. It can also analyze recorded Teams calls. And you do some training before it works. Once the training is done, it can then estimate the sentiment of the call. It detects emotion and communication patterns. So, as with a lot of the things that are based on AI, you need to have quite a lot of data available before it becomes really valuable, because the training needs to be done. And if you try training it on a small data sample, that is all it will then understand. So you need a pretty big data sample to move forward. So this is an example using a recorded call. And you can see at the top, we've got various textual pieces where it has listened to this call and worked it out. Down at the bottom, you can see along the timeline, we've then got when was the call positive, when was it neutral, and when was it negative. Well, it's good to see that this one was never deemed negative. We also get to see overall timing. So how much was the salesperson listening? How much were they talking? And so on. And you see in this right-hand area, we've got a transcript of this call. So you can see how that could be really, really useful, particularly if this is someone that you've not spoken to for a while. I haven't got a demo of that because it takes more setting up than I had data available for. So any questions?
Very good. Very good.
Okay. And assistant cards we've already talked about. Those are the cards that you can create, or there's quite a number of out of the box that then get dropped onto appropriate forms with hints and tips, like the closing date is due, like you've missed an appointment. There's even one about an upcoming flight that you can configure. So lots and lots of things that you can do there. What I now want to look at briefly is target management, because there aren't many sales organizations that don't have targets of some sort. So Dynamics gives you the ability to create targets in a number of different ways. So you can create targets that are based on revenue, that are based on number of records, and that are based on product. So using all of those in different ways, you could give salespeople targets of revenue within opportunities. That also could be done for quotes, orders, and invoices. You can also give them targets based more on activities. So, for example, you might prefer to incentivize people on number of calls made, number of meetings attended. That can be done using the count target or the count goal functionality. You can also base it on product. So you can either do targets around salespeople must sell X of this particular product, or you could combine that with revenue. So you must make X revenue from this product or this product group. Once the goals are in place, you can then track them via dashboards, and the dashboards can show you achieved goals. In other words, revenue from won opportunities, meetings that have been closed off, phone calls that have been closed, i.e. made. You can also see in progress. So that would be open opportunities or scheduled phone calls or scheduled meetings. And all of those can be put onto dashboards. And the dashboards can be both personal and roll up. So a team leader or a senior manager could see similar goals, but rather than just for one person, they could see them across the organization or a team or whatever works. So the hardest thing within target management is working with the business to work out what really adds value to a particular organization. So lots and lots of things that you can do there. We're now moving on to forecasting, which is taking targets to the next level. And specifically, I want to look at predictive forecasting, which again is an AI functionality. You need to have the sales insight license, but once you've got that, it will predict the likelihood of winning a particular opportunity based on similar historical data. It looks at the actual revenue, estimated revenue, actual close date, estimated close date, and customer of your closed opportunities, and closed means won and lost, and compares all of those to one particular opportunity. And then you can get interesting charts like this. So overall, what you are seeing here is this salesperson, Hilda Cavallari. This is what she achieved through January date. And then that dotted line is what AI thinks she will achieve moving forward based on what she has achieved. So you can see how AI thinks she is going to meet target and further. And then we can drill into that. So at any point, we can see that Hilda has got, right now, she's got 7.4 million closed won. She's got 0.8 million as likely wins from open opportunities. And AI is also anticipating that she'll make another 0.3 million from opportunities that are not yet in the system. So based on what she's done historically, you get those three numbers out, and overall, that is giving her a predicted total of 8.5 million. And I'm now going to let you see that for real.
You've got predictive scoring configured with enough data, that is 40 open, 41 and 40 lost opportunities that meet the scoring criteria, you get another view. Specifically, you get the My Open Opportunities Scored view. If we go into this view, you see that we have got 3 new columns. We've got the predictive score column, the score trend based on ongoing predictive score, and the grade that is derived from the predictive score. If we open an opportunity, we see all of that information placed here as well. And if we go into details, we now see more information about the opportunity score. And if we go on to the about, we also get some further information about what each of those parameters mean.
Any questions about that lot? Okay, and the final topic that I want to introduce to you in the idea of saving time is a lot of the extra workflow functionality that we get that enables people to get the system to do work for them. So rather than individuals being asked to do a lot of this sales management, the system can now take over and do that for them. And you've seen a few examples of that. And with that, our hour together is up. I do have a few references which I'm happy to share if people want, but I will stop sharing and open it for questions.